Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
And Daily FC Bournemouth. Hello everyone and welcome to our new Daily FC Bournemouth episode 57. And today, again, your host Vik, joined by Dan, the legend, the king, one of the the biggest cherries here. How are you, Dan?
Wow, 50, did you say 57 episodes?
57th episode.
Wow.
And still going.
57. And how old are you, Victor?
Oh, well, we're not going to talk about that in this episode, right? But yeah. We went past my age. Let's say it that way.
Yes, I know. And just to give you people listening, just give you a picture of Victor, what he's wearing at the moment. I met Victor 7 years ago. I mentioned before, he's still in the same top. He was just posting about it just before this episode about how he still fits into it. So, yes, this is Victor how I remember it.
Yeah.
It was. I want to see the Bournemouth kit on next time, Victor.
Yeah, it's great, reminiscing the old days and when I was between the posts. But yeah. For now, I can only watch. That's it. My career is over. Not permanently, but over for now. Right. So today we are gonna talk about another loss, another Bournemouth loss away. Unlucky. As we said in our previous episode, we don't have a good run against Brighton, which we didn't manage to break in the last game. And we'll also talk about our next game, which we've got this Saturday already. Well, tomorrow, tomorrow. Again against Wolves. Now there must be some payback coming, and I can feel it. I can feel there's a lot of rage and everything, especially because of the red card. And I feel like this is the moment that they have to pay. Right, so before we dive into everything, I do have to mention that this podcast is a part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. It's a unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. So subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Right. Brighton Bournemouth 2-1 away. I wanted to go to the game. Again, some unplanned things happened. I couldn't go. And I will be going against Wolves Cup game, right? So hopefully we'll win, and that will be, yes, I have to keep going to the rest of the games.
It's your fault, as we mentioned before. It's your fault.
It's always my fault, right?
I assume you managed to watch on TV. Let's just talk about the lineup, Victor. I think we were mostly right. We knew Hill was going to play right centre back. We knew Cook was right back. Adam centre mid with Christie.
Yeah, we got that. Adams, Christie back. Yeah. We got pretty much everything. You said that Hill is going to play as a centre back and Cook on the side. And I said the other way, if I remember well.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. So, what do you think? What do you think of the first 10 minutes before the penalty? I was impressed.
It started looking like something, I'm not going to lie. And obviously we showed even after that we could equalize, and we didn't stop. We played, we knew what we wanted. We went there to get at least a point. But yeah, that was unlucky. Again, a lot of speculations about that penalty. Why now the VAR didn't overturn it in our favor? Because that doesn't happen to Bournemouth, right?
No, well, VAR isn't a supporter of Bournemouth. VAR, if they were a listener, they wouldn't be listening to this today. It's going to be interesting because I'm more of a striker, you're a goalkeeper. Let's hear the goalkeeper's opinion of it first.
I think you could clearly see that Kepa stopped, and Kepa even pulled a little bit to the back. So he basically had nothing else to do. And I mean, Pedro just ran into him, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Clearly, yes, most of the referees are going to give it. But then looking at the VAR footage and everything, it seemed like that was Petro's intention to go for a pen rather than run past him.
It's where the ball went after as well. The ball went to the right and not.
The ball went to the right. The ball wasn't even going towards the goal. That's correct. So
yeah, as a striker, great move. Great move. He's played the referee. He's got the free kick. Well, not the free kick, the penalty. But our level, I don't think we've ever had VAR. So I've got away with a few of them, but I didn't actually. I thought this might be an opportunity. The VAR is going to support us, but no.
No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and unfortunately, when you look at those two teams, and obviously, the last time we've beaten them in the Amex was 2019, or 5-0 win. Since then, we didn't beat them away, and I was really hoping we could do something this game. Especially we played the same formation, similar type of game, pressure, and obviously both of the teams are now fighting for Europe. Where Brighton did play Europe before, Bournemouth never played. So it was just one of those things. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop now. And I think we can still get there. And I remember you saying in the last episode, like it feels like the FA is going to be fighting for Bournemouth not to go to Europe.
No, what brings more sponsorship? That's the question, isn't it? And that's just me being a bit dubious of football and money, but I think there's other clubs that prefer to be in the Champions League or to be in the Europa League because it draws more money back into the Premier League, the FA Cup. Yeah. So anyway, I honestly thought, okay, great penalty by João Pedro. The keeper couldn't save it. But then I thought we had a couple of chances. We started bombing on down the wing. I think Semenyo had a couple. Semenyo wasn't as clinical as himself, but he was causing problems. There was another turning moment in the game when a player went down injured his thigh. For me, when Ryan Christie went off.
Christie, yeah.
I think I'm going to say it every single episode. I am Ryan Christie's biggest fan. I think I'm supporting Scotland sometimes just when he's playing. He went down injured, and
he plays on the right.
He's a star man. That's my favourite song. He's a star man. Yeah. We're not the singers anyway. Because he was again. And I saw the game. He was breaking up the play. He was pushing out wide. Everything it was happening. Adams to Christie to the Semenyo. Then Alex Scott came on.
Scott wasn't that bad. I think he. I mean,
if you have an opportunity, well, it's obviously mixed reviews, but online he's many people have gone with the same opinion as me. He's a luxury player. He doesn't fit Irola's style. He's not. The second goal was Scott's fault for not following his man.
And I think you said that in the last episode as well, that he's one of them. Yeah, players that doesn't.
Irola is the Bournemouth team is all about everyone in it together, and there's times where he's just losing the ball too many times. He's got some brilliance in him. I'm not going to deny he's got any brilliance, and I'm sure he's probably going to get better over the years. But at this point where we are in our league position, we're not up near the bottom team. We are looking for consistency and points.
Yeah.
I just feel there's a real difference, and maybe I'm just too much of a Ryan Christie fan, but I just can't see how Alex Scott fits into this team. You got Justin Clivett now. Well, we'll go on to the goal in a minute. His work rate is phenomenal. I think.
I
was a bit disappointed with David Brooks this game, and he got subbed off, of course.
I think Evan Nilsson should have come on a bit earlier, but
he can't.
Maybe he's not ready yet.
No. What do you think? What do you think of? So, challenge me in my opinion, Alex Scott. What do you think of him?
I don't know. Well, did we have anyone else to play in that position? I mean, Ben Winterburn, who hasn't really got that much experience.
No.
So,
we could have brought Soler and put Lewis Cook in there. play him out of position, the fullback.
Yeah, but Soler is a left back. I don't think he ever played the right back.
No, he hasn't. But there's that I guess so. Yeah. There's talks about maybe just changing the formation around, putting Brooksy in the middle.
Again, red card. I don't know. Red card from the last game costed us probably this game as well. And especially, we appealed against it. Nothing happened. If it was a bigger club, we know what would happen.
Wow, very similar to the Arsenal one. They appealed and Arsenal won it. We didn't. I said in the last episode that it's just how can a player who won the ball, no malicious intent, being basically suspended for 4 games because he got sent off right near the beginning of that game. Yeah, bit challenging. As the game went on half time, what were your thoughts, Victor?
Well, I thought Iraola would probably carry on with pressing and probably try to equalize and then pull back, park the bus, and then save that point, to try and get the best out of it. But obviously, 3 minutes later, Danny Welbeck did what he used to do back in the days in Man United, and it was just unlucky. I mean, their goalkeeper was on top as well. Verbruggen, he had some amazing saves, and yeah, it was not our day.
Right. I think you speak about us missing players. I think that Danny Welbeck goal, I felt for James Hill. I thought James Hill was doing really well, 50, 60 minutes. But remember, he's only just came back. He's just had a game on the weekend. He's played longer than they expected. He looked, and I didn't think we had any other options to go centre back.
Yeah, he looked fatigued, yeah.
And that was a fatigue goal.
Yeah.
But you can't help thinking, can you, as it's going through, that wouldn't happen with Sabani there.
No, I mean, they had, I think, a couple more chances. Ruter was one-on-one with the keeper as well, and it's and I, to be honest with you, before the game, I thought that Ruter was going to score first before João Pedro. Ruter is an astonishing player, and I can't remember if I said it in the pre-match report, but when we did, but you never know which foot he's going to use. Like he's amazing with both feet. He's crazy player. It's just it's the more I want to talk about it, the more I think about it, the more sad I become, and I want to stay excited to talk about the Wolves game that we've got ahead of us, and dive into it sort of with as much positivity as I can.
Before you do that, I'd like to ask you one thing that you needed to change. This is the teacher in me. One thing that needs to change from that game, and one positive.
From the Brighton game to Wolves game.
Yep.
Oh, well, our views are different, right? I would say I'd probably now, seeing that Sinistera gives a lot, I'll try to start with Cini instead of Brooks. Because you can see that Brooks has dropped not just in the last game, in the last 2-3 games. He used the time well when people got injured, but let's say since Tav came back, it's not that Brooks anymore, and this is the problem. Where is the consistency? Like before Sinistera got injured, he had the consistency as well, and he could easily make that impact. And I was talking about it in our first episodes when we would see Sinistera coming off the bench and then sort of giving like 120%, and then seeing the sort of whole team pressing for one player. And probably this is the thing I would change. I will start with Sinistera.
What thing
would love to see.
What thing would you not change?
What thing will I not change? Well, now we have to think that Christie might not be fit, and this is if we were.
Are you going to put Alex Scott and Tyler Adams together?
But do we have anyone else?
No. Wow. Change formation, possibly.
Did you all change formation since the beginning of the Premier League?
I just chuck somebody else in there. I don't know, Lewis Cook.
Yeah,
Looks
but
good.
then you need someone on the right, not left back on the right side. Or you think Dango can play right back as well?
Right, exactly. Just Tavernier. Tavernier's played right back for us, like his brother. Yeah, interesting.
It's really a tough one. We haven't got that squad depth, right? So we could think, okay, we are Man City. We have 3 players in each position that are high quality. We haven't got that. I'm not going to lie, I would love to see a change in formation because I've never seen Iraola playing anything apart from 4-2-3-1. So I would like to see how that will work. Maybe, I don't know, 4-1-2-1-2. But then again, we have the wingers. We have to use the wingers. So maybe 4-2-1-3. I don't know. Or 4-1-2-1-2. There's so many formations that but it all depends like how players fit.
Speaking about somebody returning, Evan Nilsson, I know he's only on the game for a short time, but I think he really changed it a little bit. He just was able to spin players a little bit better than Dango could. Dango's
And he
obviously
was
been a great
unlucky that rebound went between his legs. I mean,
at the other point, I don't know if you've seen it, but Aroda talked about it after the game. The handball. You see the handball? You may have not. It was part of his press conference after.
no.
And I think it hit Van Heck's hand. We had a shot, hit Van Heck's hand, it was going in goal, but the VAR didn't get involved because it was too close. But if it didn't hit his hand, it was a goal. So it's just interesting as well, these type of things. If that, and Rhoda did speak about it, if that was any other team, that would be all over the media.
Yeah. It seems like Bournemouth is always playing against someone plus the VAR, and it's it makes the whole situation tougher. But then when we win, it feels sweeter. I don't know. What do you think? It's because you've beaten 2.
It's been over a week since we've won. I've got to this period of just winning every week. It's been hard. 2 games.
But that's not because when we have expectations, that's not good. When you have expectations and someone doesn't meet your expectations, you get disappointed. So it's better not to have any and just go with the flow.
We're not on about your dating life here, Victor, but no, I do understand. I do understand.
No, right. Well, let's finish with the Brighton game because I'm really starting to get annoyed more and more with things, and we're starting to talk about my private life, and we don't want that in our podcast. But let's go for a quick break first, and we'll be back shortly. Thanks for listening.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Do you have a story to tell that the world needs to hear? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences who are engaged with your story? It might be time for you to start a podcast. Let me tell you about the platform we use here at Global Sports Podcast Network. Zencastr makes it easy to start a high-quality podcast built for growth from day one. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes ums, ahs, ya knows, and 22 other speech patterns, Zencastr makes it super easy to start a podcast that sounds great. Ready to tell your story? Check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Right, so not looking back anymore, right? We're going to leave the past behind.
Don't look back in anger. That's what Oasis said.
No. Try to learn and always hope for the best in the future. Wolves again. I think we're definitely winning this one. I think we're going through. This is the time now where we can make something. And obviously, Wolves, the situation they're in, trying to stay in the Prem, making sure they will stay. I'm not saying this is going to be easy game, right? But I expect to see more goals than in the last game.
Let's hope so. but I don't think the television companies are feeling that confident. It's the only game which is not being shown on TV of all the FA Cup games.
Yeah, I mean they're bloody showing even Crystal Palace Millwall. I know, but I know,
I told
I
you.
know.
VAR. They're
VAR,
telling them not to put it
yeah,
on.
yeah. Is that the reason why? Well, we're gonna be VAR from the stadium because I'm gonna be recording every bloody single second of the game and just keep rewinding. Um, if there's any, weird situation, but no, I think this is now our breaking point, our turning point. We have to win this. We have to win this. Um, get into the quarterfinals. And maybe even win the FA Cup. Why not? Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Well, I think they need to fight back. I think the game before, with the red card or just the loss, and I don't like the conversations between the players. I think that Bournemouth want to get their own back on them. I think they're going to be motivated for this game.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%. That's why I think, especially because I mean, back in the beginning of the season, we've seen similar situation where Arsenal was playing in vitality. They got the red card around 30th minute, and we won 2-0. And it was pretty much the same now, but just the other way. It's Bournemouth got the red card, and that's it. Wolves, well, I'm not gonna lie, but Wolves was better. Obviously, they had an extra player, and they
They just
used it.
controlled the game. They controlled the game.
They controlled the game. They
I,
did.
I think it was us. They were better because we didn't have a plan B for 10 men.
No, 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 and
We're just high press. I say just. We are beautiful at pressing together as a team. 11 players. We all press together. The goalie even presses at times, I feel. But we know the centre backs. The centre backs push up most of the time more than anybody else to press. We saw it again when we watched it on. I know we're moving on from the Brighton game, but Howson was pressing. There's times when he was in the box more than our midfielders, our wingers. That's great. So when you get one player sent off, it really does affect it. But we're not. We're going to start with 11, and we're going to stay with 11. And we have some players who probably are itching to prove themselves. Sinistera. I think Brooks might be. He knows he's probably might be a bit frustrated. He got dropped at half time. He might have something to prove. And then we've got Evan Nilsson almost back. I don't think he'll start though. What do you think?
it all depends how he feels. I'd love to see him start. If not fit, I believe he will get his chance from the second half. Hopefully, Dango will score by the halftime. So then Irola wouldn't. He'll be in doubts what to do, right?
If not, Clive will score a couple of worldies for us, like he did.
If not Clive, yeah, it would be. I mean, he had a couple of chances as well against Brighton, but just unlucky. It wasn't the day. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be, and that's it. But that's why we need to look forward to this game, and I'm sure the atmosphere in the stadium will be great as usual. All the tickets are sold out, so even if the weather is going to be awful, I know the stadium will be full, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to be there.
What do you think the score is going to be, Victor?
Well, I said there will be more goals, and I think 3-1. 3-1 tomorrow. 3-1 to Bournemouth.
I'm going to go 3-2
Oh,
to Bournemouth.
oh, right. Okay.
I'm going. I just only because I couldn't go the same as 3-1, but I would have went 3-1.
Well, you can always, yeah, you can always say so. But why not?
Well, okay, I'm going to go for 3-1. We're both going for it. I think Sinistera's one that will really trouble him, push him back if he plays.
He might start. He looked well in the last game. He might start. I'd like to see him start because when you think like, obviously Tav's been injured and he came back, but it feels like he's not 100% the Tav that used to be before the injury. Brooksy, as we mentioned, the last 2-3 games, he wasn't really doing his job as he knows. and thinking of, well, Claver's got to start. Who Semenyo's got to be on the left or on the right, and then that second winger, probably, in my opinion, Sinistera to start with. I have a feeling like if Evan Nilsson plays a half time, he'll score.
Yeah, what I found with Evan Nilsson gives Semenyo more space. I feel like Evan Nilsson not only comes towards the ball really well, but he spins off. So whereas with Dango, from what I've been watching, is they've been keeping very close, and the space between Semenyo and Dango isn't as great as whenever Evan Nilsson there. Evan Nilsson does so much off the ball as well, which creates that space for other players. And I think there was no surprise Semenyo had a great goal ratio when Evan Nilsson plays.
Yeah, there was, if I remember, before Evan Nilsson's injury, there were 6 games where in all 6 games, Semenyo was involved, whether with an assist or a goal, but it was 6 games in a row. And you could think, yeah, maybe with Evan Nilsson's return, maybe Semenyo will start shining again. I'm sure it's there, it's there. It's there. It just needs to come.
I love
Yeah.
him. I love watching him. I know the thing what's missing is his finishing the last few games, but he's still strong. He's still getting past players. He's lacking that bit of confidence, but I'm going to put him to score first. Semenyo.
Right. Okay. Another 2?
The other 2, Semenyo. 2 Semenyo.
Ooh.
1 Evan Nilsson when he comes on.
Right. Okay.
What about yourself, Victor?
Oh, well, I'd love to see Kerker scoring, because when he scores, that's something special, right?
Yes.
So yeah. Maybe why not? Maybe we see Kerker scoring him for the weekend again. Even the assist, I would be happy. He had 2 assists against Man City. He was the man of the match for me. But yeah, I'd love to see Kerker scoring. I think we're gonna score one from the corner kick, from the set piece. One of the goals, maybe Howson.
I hope so, because I'll be honest, our corners the last few weeks, people have been commenting, have we taken away our corner coach tactician? Have we used all our corner routines up, because they haven't been the best? They haven't been the best crosses.
No.
So I'll be happy if that happens.
No. No, it's yeah. I think maybe Howson, but I have a feeling we're going to score from the set piece. And yeah, I think Semenyo might get on the score sheet. I think it will be very important on how we start the game again, and it would be great to see a red card on the other side now. What it was, because it's always.
Will there be VAR though? I don't think there is. There VAR in this round?
I think from the next round. I think from the quarterfinals. I'm not 100% sure.
You can see it, can't you? We're going to be going. We wish we had VAR.
Probably, yeah. Probably some of our listeners know better, but yeah, regarding VR, I'm not gonna lie if I don't have the real information. Yeah, probably Google find out. But it's I think it's gonna. This game is gonna look a bit easier, a little bit easier in terms of having full 11 and keeping full 11, as you mentioned earlier. Just trying our best, and if we score first, that's it. We won the game, and I think that is going to happen on Saturday. Now, before we do the squad prediction and slowly finish for today, we're just gonna go for another quick ad break from our sponsors, and we'll be back.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bionic, the world's most personalised supplements. Bionic provide 100% tailor-made supplements, designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bionic. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
So yeah, you can have VAR. We do have VAR, and
We do have VAR.
Yep, and we have the new lines, automatic offside lines.
Well, let's hope VAR, if used, will be in our favor tomorrow. Because I'm really fed up with VAR just overturning decisions against us, and yeah. But let's focus on the positives, right? So we pretty much did go through the starting 11.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kepa will start. I think the back four same as in the last game against Brighton.
He might try the new guy from America, the DC United player. We signed him, but he's been on the bench the last few games. But I can't see that too much of a big game for us. I think
he's 18 years old. He's still young.
Yeah. But look, Kirk, the others are only 19. Howson's only 19.
I know. But it's Howson came from Juventus, right? And then the other guys, they all came from playing European football. And I'm not saying MLS is a bad league, but you're
just saying it's not a very good league. So anyway, moving on, just in case before we get into the debate about different leagues. We have the question is, I want to know who's going to play centre mid. Let's put if he's fit, Ryan, Christie, and Adams are playing together. Let's say Christie's not fit.
I think it's going to be Scott. It has to be Scott. I can't. I don't know. I said I'd love to see the change in formation, but I can't see it happening. So it's got to be Scott because you haven't got anyone else that And if you would leave the Scott out, especially after the injury, after spending that much money to buy him, how would that affect him?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to put a player that's worth 600k to start before the 23 million guy.
Well, you don't think the Ben Winterburn will start?
I don't think so. No, not
last FA Cup game. Remember against Everton?
Yeah, but Alex Scott was injured.
Fair
we
point.
didn't really have solutions, did we?
I don't know. I'm hoping next time I'm on here, I'll be eating my words and be going, Alex Scott, I love you. But at the moment, I'm a bit concerned. I need to see a bit more effort. So if he's listening, I think you've got the talent. I don't think you've got the mentality of the rest of the players yet.
He'll get there. He's still young. He's still a kid. You're the teacher. Come on, you're a teacher, mate. You got to understand.
He isn't young. He's a senior, probably compared to Howson.
Okay, right. So moving on to the forward three. Midfielders / wingers. So we're going to have probably Kluivert again in the middle. Now, I'll say Semenyo and Sinisterra to start with. And Dango up front, if ever, somehow, is not going to be 100%.
I feel my team, I've said it briefly, I would put maybe, I agree with the Ben Winterburn. I feel like putting Adams and David Brooks in the middle. David Brooks has been played centre mid before, played it for Wales, played it for Sheffield United, he's played it for Bournemouth before, not under this management. Put Semenyo in. I agree, Sinisterra, and probably it will be Dango. I like to chuck a curveball out there.
I'm sorry, but I can't see Brooks playing CDM.
Not CDM, centre mid. Scott doesn't play. Tyler Adams does all the CDMing you need.
Yeah, well, Scott is a bit in front of him. Yeah, that's true. But I think Brooks. I don't know.
Tavernier's the other one he might play in there. Tavernier played it for Middlesbrough, centre mid. He's played 1 or 2 games as centre mid for us, but it just didn't work under other management.
Tavernier is definitely better defensively in comparison to Brooks, if you ask me. But it's still a bit way off the proper midfielder, running box to box. And
that's my criticism of Alex Scott.
Well, let's just hope Christie will be fit and Christie will start, because we need our number 10. Yeah, and
You have to message me. I'll send you my excited face if he's on the team, okay? Because I think we're going to win by more than 3-1 if he's in there.
Christie.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And I think on that note, we can positively finish our episode for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. If things go as planned. But until then, thank you everyone. Thank you so much everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed our episode. Well, 2 episodes in one. And we'll be back in the next couple of days to record a post-match, versus Wolves. Up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries, Victor.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.